Hello, Kelaiah. I really liked listening to your informative speech. So today I will be reviewing and doing a peer analysis for you today. I really like how you started with a really good attention getter. Many times the audience doesn't really get reeled in, and this attention getter is necessary in order for you to reel in the audience. So I really like that. I also really like how you talked about something that was unique to you and that was special. Running a small business is very difficult, and I've been there. I ran a small business and it was a lot of work. And I also do think that you are correct when you said that it's not what builds a business, it's the people around it. Because the employee, if he works really hard, he's able to make the business better, and the business then is able to succeed. So I really think that's very important. I also think that you had an introduction, body, and a conclusion. However, one thing was that this was not very clear because it was a little bit scrambled around. So you started on why you had chosen the topic, then you moved on to the quote, and then you ended with talking about the shoe business boutique and that. But I will say it was still there. Your body was very encapsulating. Your body was encapsulating three main points like it's supposed to, and I could clearly see your subpoints. I also was able to see your supporting points that you were bringing up throughout the speech. One thing I did notice though was that you did not have a visual aid. I'm not sure if there is one or there wasn't, but it was not there from when I watched it. I also think that the speech was a little hard to be able to follow, and the flow of the speech was not clear because it did not. It was organized, but it did not. It was not able to be digested properly personally. I also like how you mentioned the how your father got you into shoes and how he started that for you, and how now you're continuing on to for the love of shoes and the love of just that area. I do really think it's very important. I also think you were able to use effective language and were adequately explaining the way you're able to organize your speech. And there was different sections, including the conclusion that were there. Uh, I did not hear any signposts, and I never really heard a preview when I was listening to it. And I also noticed that the transitions were missing when I was listening to it between the different main points. Now, when listening to your summary, I also noticed that there was a couple of points missing, like overall reviewing your three main points and like going over it, like your thesis statement. When listening to your presentation, I was able to see though that you maintained your eye contact for most of the speech. You did sometimes look down at the index card, but that's okay. That's normal. But I would suggest that next time maybe try to remember the speech more and not look as much as your note card. I also like how you were in proper lighting, and that you had very clear volume, because many times lighting is very important, and if you don't have the proper lighting, then the audience will not be paying as much attention, as well as anything that you say may not be picked up as clearly. The only concern that I really have was the visual aid in the presentation. Having a visual aid can many times help their audience to better connect with the speaker and become more informed. When you were talking about one of your points, now going back to one of your points when I was reviewing it, and why you wanted to specialize in Nike because of Jordan. I never really knew. It was a very fascinating fact that you told me that now I know about, is that Michael Jordan had to pay a $5,000 fine to enter the court with his Jordans on because it had, I think, red and blue, and it didn't have any white, I believe, or red and black, I think. And I personally think that that's really absurd for the NBA to do, but that's the NBA for you. I also do think that Michael Jordan is one of the greatest players to play, so I don't disagree with you on that. And I also did not know that Nike overproduced their Jordan 1s, and Nike had to lower the price. And now this explains to me why skaters back 5-10 years ago used to wear Jordan 1s. I never really clicked. I saw pictures of it, but I never really figured it out. Now, after listening to your speech, I was finally able to see some suggestions that I want to give you is that I think you should add things as the transitions, signposts, and adding preview. Being able to do that, I think it would be beneficial because having transitions is very important. There was no clear transition between the first point to the second point and the second point to the third point. I think that's one thing you need to work on, as well as adding a visual aid would be really beneficiary. I also really think that one positive aspect that I saw was that how you're able to talk about something interesting and personal to you, and something that you were able to show and explain to all of us around us. Overall, you were in good lighting and you had a good presentation. So I think I hope you take this analysis for the best. Thank you.